I trust you have chosen this website because you have an interest in solar energy, solar thermal energy to be exact. Our business is not about photovoltaic energy. That is for others. K-Cor is in the applied research and development business. That means we look for research that has already been done in laboratory or limited test settings. If a solar thermal application looks promising, we will then recreate that research in a real-world environment to try and validate its efficacy. Once proven, a determination will be made as to whether or not it has potential for commercial development. There are a great many ideas out there with some of the most creative and elaborate designs you could imagine. A great many have no real-world applications at all because of the cost to manufacture them. Good designs, but not realistic, at least not in today's market. K-Cor is all about separating the wheat from the chaff. We have chosen solar thermal systems because we feel that it offers the greatest promise of becoming the most cost-effective means of harnessing the power of the sun. The following discussion is all about the products we are developing at the moment. There are many more to be developed. So for the time being, just sit back and enjoy the presentation. We believe that solar thermal is the future of energy independence. How do we get energy independence? One step in doing that is by developing an efficient and cost-effective solar thermal panel for residential use. We are doing our part in that development. Of the 14 largest solar energy initiatives in the desert southwest of the United States, 13 are solar thermal. One is photovoltaic, and it is the smallest in terms of megawatts of electricity produced. We're not alone in our thinking. When people put their money where their mouth is, they choose solar thermal over PV. What do we mean when we say cost-effective solar thermal panel? We mean that it should be made of inexpensive, durable materials and easily fabricated to reduce costs. We have chosen to use acrylic for the molded dome. It is lightweight, has a high impact resistance, and very high light transmission values, much higher than low iron glass used in most flat panels. We have chosen to use fiberglass for its body. It is lightweight, durable, strong, weather resistance, and easily handled. We are using a special copper tubing designed for high thermal conductivity. It is the most efficient product available today. And finally, our collector has only 4 basic parts: the dome, the body, the floor under the copper, and the copper itself. If there is any simpler construction, I am unaware of it. In this picture of the collector, you can see me cleaning the dome. Frequent cleaning is necessary to maintain the high efficiency of the collector. It has to be clean. If there's any dirt on it, it's going to keep the sun's rays off the collector, and you're going to get less heating. This is the first prototype. Others will be larger. Although changes are planned, they will not impact the visual aesthetic beauty of the unit. This is a perfect example of beauty and functionality coming together. On the right, you see my collector without the copper tubing inside. At the time this presentation was made, the jig that bends the copper was in the process of being fabricated. You might ask, why is it on the ground? It sits on the ground because that is where solar thermal collectors should be for any one of several reasons. They are easier to install at ground level. I can just back up to where the unit should be in your yard and can easily put it in place. I don't need a crane to do the job. Nor do I need drills to punch holes in your roof. And you don't need liability insurance for me to climb up on your roof. Number 2, they are easier to clean. To be effective, a solar thermal panel needs to stay clean. Dirt just gets in the way of letting the sun in. There is a picture in another slide that shows just how easy it is to clean my solar thermal collector. Number 3, they are easier to repair if it ever needs it. Now the chance of having to repair my collector is extremely small. But if that ever happens, well, the job is just an exercise in simplicity. 4, they don't need holes in a roof. I don't understand why anyone would let someone go up on their roof and drill holes in a perfectly good roof. That is an invitation for leaks to develop. 5, they don't need to be taken down to reshingle a roof. Now every once in a while you will need to redo your roof. When that happens, do you suppose that solar panel is just going to get out of the way all by itself? Taking it down and putting it back up again will be costly. And finally, how many roofs are south-facing in the first place? You have a much better chance of finding the most sunlight right there in your very own yard. After all, just how many roofs face south? Not many, and some of those that do, well, they are in the shade from overhanging trees at least part of the time. To be fair, not every yard will have an ideal place to put my solar collector. It needs full sun from morning to night, and some yards will just not provide that. That is why they make electric and gas water heaters. At the right, you'll see my collector. From this view, it is easy to appreciate its symmetry, and one can easily see how it can be landscaped around without affecting its functionality. Let's face it, there's no way to make a flat panel pretty, is there? The dome is made from acrylic, which is much clearer than the low iron glass used in flat panel collectors. It is also more impact resistant than glass. By and large, acrylic is 25 times more impact resistant than glass. It is also easier to clean. The base is made from high-strength fiberglass, which is impregnated with glass fibers to give it additional strength. It is also very light. The base can be made in several colors to match the trim on your house. I think traditional solar panels are available in black. This is the back side of the solar collector without copper tubing. In this view, you can see the access panels used to connect the hot and cold water from the house or from the in-ground storage tank. The dome is temporarily in place with wood clamps. The dome will be hinged and securely fashioned to prevent theft of the copper. The flare at the base allows for secure fastening to ground-level concrete, as the entire unit is very, very light. Why is this a better solar thermal collector? The collector has been designed to see the sun from sunrise until sundown, from summer to winter. Because of the configuration, the collector never needs to be moved from season to season. There are times when simplicity is the answer, and this collector has been designed with simplicity in mind. Also, my collector is attractive and can be landscaped around. Let's face it, there is no way to make a roof panel attractive. The acrylic dome is impact resistant. 4. The fiberglass base is strong and will last indefinitely, always looking like it was just made. 5. It is easily cleaned by spraying with a nearby water hose. 6. There are no welded or soldered joints, and because it is spiral, which is not shown, it has built-in turbulence, and that's a good thing. 7. There are only 4 basic parts to every collector: the dome top, the fiberglass body, the fiberglass floor under the copper tubing, and the copper tubing itself. To that we add a differential temperature controller and a pump to circulate the heating fluid. That's it, and we can replace parts easily if need be. It has been designed to be trouble-free. I have repeated these issues because they are important. When looking for a new solar panel, keep them in mind.